Hello, welcome to another Becoming a Modern Man. We are playing Selesnya Value against a green-black Tron deck this time around. So let's see if we can get the match underway. We're going to be on the play here. This hand's not the best. Obviously we've got a couple of ramp spells and lands, but not a lot else. So I think we're going to mulligan this. Unfortunately this hand is worse. We don't have any green mana, and a bunch of mana dorks, but no way to cast them, so this is also a mulligan, unfortunately. We're down to 5 here, which isn't great. This obviously is slightly better, but obviously we need to get that second land to really get anything going. But I guess we'll stick with this. We see a Knight of the Reliquary on top, which I assume we're going to bottom. Obviously looking for that second land. Opponent leads off with Urza's Mine into a Chromatic Sphere. We don't find our second land, unfortunately, so we have to pass the turn back. We do find our second land on turn 3 though, which means we can drop the Knight here, and we'll be looking or hoping to find a Ghost Quarter with Knight of the Reliquary. Opponent puts Tron together. Plays an Oblivion Stone, so fortunately there's no Karn or something similar, and then just puts a Fate counter, which doesn't really do anything, so just taps out for no reason, basically. Here we're just going to pass the turn. Obviously our opponent's got Oblivion Stone in play, which you might want to try and crack, or most likely will, which he does. We're just going to tap our planes here. I mean, we're probably not going to use the mana, but we're then going to sack it to find the Ghost Quarter with the Knight. And then we can blow up our opponent's tower, take them off Tron. And they'll probably get to search up a basic forest, I imagine. But we do turn them off Tron. They play Chromatic Star, crack it into nothing. We found another Ghost Quarter, which is a bit of luck. Obviously our game hasn't gone too well so far, in that we had to mull to 5 and we missed our turn 2 land drop, but we are getting up the Ghost Quarter activations now. We played another Oblivion Stone. We were able to get back at our Ghost Quarter from the graveyard thanks to Excavators, so now we've got 2 Ghost Quarters on the go, and our opponent's run out of basic lands, so we're just going to destroy all his lands. Put a Fate counter on the Oblivion Stone again. We just Ghost Quarter, attack with the Excavator, and our opponent gives up the Ghost. So yeah, despite a fairly awful start, we were able to tutor up our Ghost Quarter and drew into a second one, and then we're able to reuse those to take our opponent off Tron lands. So that all worked out pretty nicely. So let's go take a look at sideboarding. So here we are with the deck and the sideboard. In terms of sideboarding against Tron, probably want the Quasi Pride Mage, the Reclamation Sage, our sort of Artifact Hate, and also Stony Silence is pretty good. So we probably want to bring in those. In terms of what we would take out, probably take out Azusa, as I am prone to do. Then Even Mind Sense is not bad as well. I'm not sure if we bring in another one. I suppose he's only really got Sylvan Scrying, which he's actually searching with, so that's probably not the best. It's difficult to see. I mean, Scavenging Ooze probably isn't at its best, so maybe we take out Scavenging Oozes as well. How many cards are we bringing in? 5. So that's 3, and then yeah, Path I suppose is also not at its best against Tron. So some or all the Paths probably want to come out. So yeah, probably between those cards that you're probably looking to take out. Let's say you probably want to be bringing in your Stony Silences, your Pride Mage, and your Reclamation Sage for this matchup. Not sure any of the other cards are particularly great in this matchup. Elspeth's a bit slow. Leyline doesn't really do anything. Eidolon doesn't really do anything. I mean, I suppose you could surgically extract their Tron pieces, but that seems like a bit of overkill. Yeah, I think that works. I suppose arguably you could bring in surgical extraction, but I don't think that's really worth the while. So yeah, really artifact hate comes in, and some sort of removal and scavenging oozes are probably the things that want to be coming out for this matchup. So let's go back and get into game 2. Okay, we're back with game 2 here against Green Black Tron, post sideboard game, and this hand is not ideal, but it's not the worst. We've got Pride Mage, so we can disrupt his artifacts, and after last game I'm probably inclined to keep this. Obviously we've got a pretty decent curve as long as we can find a white source, which fortunately we do, in the form of Temple, a Windswept Heath into a Temple Garden. Opponent plays Chromatic Star turn 1 off a tower, and then plays a Ghost Quarter as his second land into a Collective Brutality, which kills off our Bop, which isn't the worst. We've got 2 drops, so we didn't need the Bop to ramp into our 3-drop necessarily. So yeah, I mean, slightly irritating, but not the worst. Draw a Ghost Quarter, which is obviously useful, but doesn't look like our opponent's putting on a turn 3 Tron anyway, which is obviously good for us. Plays Chromatic Star into Ancient Stirrings, which finds him at a second Urza's Tower, which is obviously unfortunate for him if he's looking to put together Tron. He plays the tower and the Chromatic Sphere. I attack for 3, play out Courser of Crucifix, pass the turn back. Finds out Urza's Mine, Collective Brutality is the Pride Mage, and plays a Relic of Progenitus. We draw planes, he ran a Excavator on top, which certainly isn't bad. We attack for 2 here, play our Voice of Resurgence, and we're going to Ghost Quarter the mine, obviously ensuring our opponent doesn't hit Tron next turn. Opponent's going to exile the Relic of Progenitus, which obviously prevents us from recurring the Ghost Quarter with the Excavator, which obviously he knows about as well. But probably looking to draw a card in any event. So Sylvan Scrying gets him a Power Plant, which is actually interesting in itself, given that we destroyed a mine. So logically, he probably should have got mine, unless he has another mine in hand. So that is interesting. But you know, it's either a mistake or he has the next piece of that particular puzzle. So we're going to be able to attack for 4 here, and we're going to drop an Excavator down. There's another tower, so it looks like he didn't have the mine. So interesting choice to get the power plant under those circumstances. Generally, you want to be getting your Tron pieces that you have the fewest of. So he only has 3 mines in the deck, so it would have been more logical for him to search that one out. Ancient Stirrings finds the Urza's Mine, so our opponent's finally put together Tron. There isn't really a whole lot we can do about that. Khan comes down, but yeah, our opponent's on 5 at this point, so Khan isn't as powerful as it otherwise would be. We're about to draw Collected Company, which we know about. Going to be able to attack for 4 here. We're just going to attack our opponent. We could kill the Khan, but putting our opponent down to 1 with Collected Company in hand seems pretty good. I mean, realistically, he's just going to exile one of our creatures with Khan, and then we'll see what happens. I suppose he could have Oblivion Stone, but that would kill the Khan as well. So, and either way, we're probably just going to get to Collected Company end of turn, which should do it. Pretty bad Collected Company as it stands, but enough to win this game. Fortunately, we only found a Voice Resurgence, but as I say, it's enough to kill our opponent next turn, and that wraps up the game. So yeah, that went pretty well. Managed to win off a mull to 5, thanks to our opponent not really hitting anything big when he put Tron together, and then we could just repeatedly go squatter, which is kind of our strategy for this matchup. I guess this is a favourable matchup. I would hope this is a favourable matchup. We obviously have multiple ways. We have ways of finding Ghost Quarter, and then we have ways of recurring Ghost Quarter, which should be very frustrating for Tron. I mean, you don't always get those pieces put together at the right time in the right places. So it's certainly not a certainty that we will beat Tron, but I would think this is a favoured matchup, just in that we are a very good Ghost Quarter deck, and that makes Tron's life very difficult. And if we get the combinations together like we did in game 1 with the Excavator and the Ghost Quarter, just Ghost Quartering them every turn is going to be very punishing on them, and we'll probably wrap up the game. So yeah, I think this is probably a favoured matchup for our deck generally. I certainly would like to think so.